Austria competed at the 2016 Summer Olympics in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. From 5 to the 21st of August 2016, Austrian athletes have appeared in every edition of the Summer Olympic Games, with the exception of the 1920 Summer Olympics in Antwerp. The Austrian Olympic Committee, German, Österreichisches Olympisches Komitee, OOC, confirmed a squad of 71 athletes, 37 men and 34 women, to compete across 22 sports at the Games. The nation's full roster was slightly larger by a single athlete than those who participated in the previous two editions. Among the sports represented by its athletes, Austria marked its Olympic debut in golf, new to the 2016 Games, as well as its return to diving after 8 years, rowing and weightlifting after 12 years, and archery after 32 years. The Austrian roster featured 29 returning Olympians, with Chinese-born table tennis player Lu Jia leading them as the only competitor going to her fifth consecutive Games and the nation's flag-bearer in the opening ceremony. Apart from Lu, judoka and Beijing 2008 silver medalist Ludwig Peischer, dressage rider Victoria Maxtherer, and skiff duo Nico Delcarth and Nicolaus Rush in the 49er class also topped the roster lineup to make their fourth Olympic appearance. Other notable Austrian athletes included world-ranked sailors Lara Vadlau and her Polish partner, Jolanta Ogara in the women's 470. London 2012 sixth-place finalist Karena Kunla in slalom kayaking, and twin sisters Anna Maria and Arini Alexandri. Austria left Rio de Janeiro with only a bronze medal, won by sailing duo of Thomas Zions and Tanya Frank in the NACRA 17 class, saving their country's pride from the continual humiliation of another out-of-medal feat for the second time since London 2012. Several Austrian athletes advanced further to the finals of their respective sporting events, but came closest to the medal haul, including Kunla, rifle shooter Olivia Hoffmann, discus thrower Lucas Weiss-Heidinger, and rower Magdalena Lobnig. 6th. Women's single sculls. Medalists. Archery. One Austrian archer qualified for the women's individual recurve by obtaining one of the 8 Olympic places available from the 2015 World Archery Championships in Copenhagen, Denmark. Athletics. Austrian athletes have so far achieved qualifying standards in the following athletics events, up to a maximum of 3 athletes in each event. Q = qualified for the next round as a fastest loser or, in field events, by position without achieving the qualifying target. Badminton. Austria has qualified 2 badminton players for each of the following events into the Olympic tournament. Elisabeth Baldauf was selected among the top 34 individual shuttlers in the women's singles based on the BWF World Rankings as of the 5th of May 2016, while David Obernorsterer picked up one of the spare athlete berths from the doubles as the next highest-ranked eligible player in the men's singles. Canoeing. Slalom. Austrian canoeists have qualified a maximum of 1 boat in each of the following classes through the 2015 ICF Canoe Slalom World Championships. Sprint. Austria has received a spare berths from the International Canoe Federation to under 2 boats each, in the women's K1 200 meters and the women's K2 500 meters to the Olympics, as the next highest-ranked nation, not yet qualified, at the 2015 Canoe Sprint World Championships, and as a response to the forfeiture of 5 boats held by the Russians due to their previous doping bans and their implications in the disappearing positive methodology set out in the McLaren report on Russia state-sponsored doping. Cycling. Road. Austrian riders qualified for a maximum of 2 quota places in the men's Olympic road race by virtue of their top 15 final national ranking in the 2015 UCI Europe Tour. Mountain biking. Austria has qualified one mountain biker for the men's Olympic cross-country race. As a result of his nation's 14th place finish in the UCI Olympic ranking list of May 25, 2016, London 2012 Olympian Alexander Gebauer was named to the Austrian roster for the Games on July 10, 2016. Diving. Austria has received an invitation from FINA to send a diver competing in the men's individual springboard to the Olympics, based on his results at the 2016 FINA World Cup Series. Equestrian. Austria has entered one dressage rider into the Olympic equestrian competition by virtue of the top two finish from southwestern Europe in the individual FIA Olympic rankings. Dressage. Fencing. Austria has entered one fencer into the Olympic competition. René Pronce had claimed his Olympic spot as the sole winner of the men's foil hit the European zonal qualifier in Prague, Czech Republic. Golf. Austria has entered two golfers into the Olympic tournament. Bernd Wiesberger, World No. 51, and Christine Wolff, World No. 317, qualified directly among the top 60 eligible players for their respective individual events based on the IGF World Rankings as of the 11th of July 2016. Gymnastics. Artistic. Austria has entered one artistic gymnast into the Olympic competition. Lisa Ecker had claimed her Olympic spot in the women's apparatus and all-around events at the Olympic test event in Rio de Janeiro. Rhythmic. Austria has qualified one rhythmic gymnast in the individual all-around for the Games by claiming one of 8 available Olympic spots at the Olympic test event in Rio de Janeiro. Judo. Austria has qualified a total of 5 judokas for each of the following weight classes at the Games: Daniel Allersdorfer, Catherine Unterwertsacker, Bernadette Graf, two-time Olympians Sabrina Filzmoser, and Beijing 2008 silver medalist Ludwig Peischer were ranked among the top 22 eligible judokas for men and top 14 for women in the IJF World Ranking list of May 30, 2016. Rowing. Austria has qualified 2 boats for each of the following classes into the Olympic regatta, signifying the nation's Olympic return to this sport for the first time since 2004. Rowers competing in the men's lightweight double sculls and women's single sculls had confirmed Olympic places for their boats at the 2015 FISA World Championships in Lac des Gabelets, France. Qualification legend. FA equals Final A. Medal. FB equals Final B. Non-medal. FC equals Final C. Non-medal. FD equals Final D. Non-medal. FA equals Final E. Non-medal. FF equals Final F. Non-medal. SA B equals semifinals A, B. SC D equals semifinals C, D. Say F equals semifinals E, F. QF equals quarterfinals. R equals repechage. Sailing. Austrian sailors have qualified one boat in each of the following classes through the 2014 ISAF Sailing World Championships, the Individual Fleet Worlds, and European qualifying regattas. Shooting. Austrian shooters have achieved quota places for the following events by virtue of their best finishes at the 2014 and 2015 ISSF World Championships, the 2015 ISSF World Cup Series, and European Championships or Games, as long as they obtained a minimum qualifying score, MQS, by March 31, 2016. Swimming. Austrian swimmers have so far achieved qualifying standards in the following events: up to a maximum of 2 swimmers in each event at the Olympic qualifying time, OQT, and potentially 1 at the Olympic selection time, OST. Two-time Olympic swimmer Birgit Koschek, London 2012 Olympian Lisa Zeisser, and rookie Felix Abig were selected as part of the second batch of nominated Austrian athletes for the Games on June 23, 2016. Synchronized swimming. Austria has fielded a squad of 2 synchronized swimmers to compete only in the women's duet by virtue of their 6th place finish at the FINA Olympic test event in Rio de Janeiro. Table tennis. Austria has fielded a team of 6 athletes into the table tennis competition at the Games. Chinese-born Lu Jia secured 1 of 10 available Olympic spots in the women's singles by winning the group final match at the European qualification tournament in Halmstad, Sweden. Daniel Habasson and Beijing 2008 Olympian Li Changbing were each awarded the 3rd spot to build the men's and women's teams for the Games by virtue of a top 10 national finish in the ITTF Olympic rankings. Tennis. Austria has entered 2 tennis players into the Olympic tournament. Oliver Merak and Alexander Paya had claimed 1 of 8 ITF Olympic men's doubles places as Austria's top-ranked tennis pair outside of direct qualifying position in the ATP World Rankings as of June 6, 2016. Triathlon. Austria has qualified a total of 3 triathletes for the following events at the Olympics. Sarah Villock and London 2012 Olympian Lisa Perderer were ranked among the top 40 eligible triathletes in the women's event based on the ITU Olympic qualification list as of May 15, 2016. Meanwhile, Thomas Springer was selected as the highest-ranked triathlete from Europe in the men's event based on the ITU points list. Volleyball. Beach. 2 Austria men's beach volleyball teams qualified directly for the Olympics, one by virtue of their nation's top 15 placement in the FIVB Olympic rankings as of June 13, 2016, and the other by winning the final match over Belgium at the 2016 CEV Continental Cup in Stavanger, Norway. These places were awarded to 3-time Olympians Clemens Doppler and Alexander Horst, along with rookies Alexander Huber and Robin Seidel. Weightlifting. Austria has received an unused quota placed from IWF to send a male weightlifter to the Olympics, signifying the nation's return to this sport for the first time since 2004. Wrestling. Austria has received a spare host berth freed up by Brazil as the next highest-ranked eligible nation, not yet qualified, to send a wrestler competing in the men's Greco-Roman 85 kg to the Olympics, based on the results from the World Championships. Saint? Great superiority? The loser without technical points and a margin of victory of at least 8. Greco-Roman, or 10. Freestyle. Points. SP? Technical superiority? The loser with technical points and a margin of victory of at least 8. Greco-Roman, or 10. Freestyle. Points.